So I'm just gonna go in closer now on the shelves. So, you know, this whole left side is definitely, we're gonna ignore the bottom down there. That's my textbooks, notebooks, but this side clearly has at the top my books for much younger readers and then mostly like young adults. So I would say like this side is up to young adults. And then this side is mostly adult novels and whatnot. But there is some other stuff mixed in. Up top I made a space for, you know, some of my children's books and picture books. This is a this is one I just got. It's an Elmo board book, but it's in English and Spanish. And I just want to give a shout out to bilingual kids books because as someone trying to learn a little bit, that's where it's at. It's such a great way to learn vocabulary. That's the Polar Express with the art that I did on the front. Soleil, Isaac Kiss in the corners. What else is back here? I love this collection of all the tales of Winnie the Pooh. Oh yeah, this is almost kind of sad. I got this book last year, Cougar Crossing. This is about the very famous mountain lion who resided in Los Angeles, specifically in the Griffith Park area. Very famous for having crossed two freeways. And unfortunately, recently, he passed away, P22. So rest in peace to P22. Got what else back here? This is a really cute one. Last Stop on Market Street. I had this display in particular because I think that the art and illustrations associated with children's books and picture books is extremely underrated. This is excellent artwork right here, just on these covers alone, and I think they deserve the love, and I feel like they're very inspiring to me as an illustrator too. But clearly we have some of the young adult series, like the Unwind series, the Mono Instruments. Sarah J. Maas has a lot of real estate on that shelf. And then some more series and also just more like miscellaneous thrown in there. Over on this side, I tried to keep some genres together. These are a bunch of graphic novels. What else? Persepolis. And then there's just some like literary fiction. And this is Becoming. And then this, I believe, is entirely nonfiction. You've got some poetry right here. And this is a mainly science fiction and fantasy shelf, which I love to look at. It's just got some good stuff on there. And kind of some other ones down here, more miscellaneous as well. And like a random little romance section. What is this one right here? Love Notes by Christina C. Jones. And again, more miscellaneous. So here is the final look. I was going back and forth on what I wanted up here because I used to have this art. One of my favorite art pieces that I did is this like yin yang sun moon thing. And unfortunately, while moving, the frame for this shattered. Thankfully, the piece remained intact. I wanted to put something else up there, and I just settled on Warbreaker because it just looks super pretty when the light is hitting it. Another reason why I have the books facing out is because I have a lot of empty space to fill. I'm still trying to figure out basically how to fill the space because I still want to get rid of more books. And down here, let me tilt the camera right now, all of those right there are going to be donated. But that actually leads me into this discussion that I wanted to have about unhauling and book buying habits and kind of what a dream library looks like, whether for myself or for you. Let's go a little bit, take a journey through time real quick. So middle school Olivia, who was just getting more into obsessively reading, like all I wanted was brand new books from Barnes & Noble. That was just the most exciting thing. And so for a time, that was all I was really getting my hands on was brand new books. And I also like the idea of keeping them in that mint condition. At some point, I would say the first shift came when I first started annotating books. I stopped caring so much about having a brand new book. Suddenly, what I wanted was books that had notes in it, books that were even dog-eared, books that had random things in it. Also, at some point, I started to really actively use my library. And so that was really a huge change in buying habits. I was buying far less, and I was kind of using it as like a test. Like, okay, if once I close this book, I think I still want a copy of this, I still want to reread this and take notes in it or something, then it was worth going out and getting. And if not, then hooray, I checked it out from the library. But also really focusing on only collecting the books that passed that test, that were interesting or memorable enough or just very, very good, being the only ones that made it home, started to make me think about what kind of books overall I wanted to keep. Mainly books that I enjoyed, like only books that I enjoyed or were in some capacity very memorable or like something notable about it. Not one of those where I look at it and go, yeah, I read that, couldn't tell you anything about it, I'm just keeping it for the sake of keeping it. I kind of no longer wanted those, and so that's what I continue to try to get rid of. Moving especially really forced me to ask myself, what do I genuinely want here? Like, there's so many books that got the boot, and collectively it probably could have made for a nice unhaul video, but I was unhauling things so sporadically. I would pack my books and go, do I need this? Nah. I'd put them somewhere, take them out. As I'm opening the box, go, I don't want this anymore. Toss it, or not toss it, but you know, put it aside to give away. I think I've just reached a point where for me, my dream library is one where I can like look at it and point to any book and say, yes, I read that, and two, I enjoyed it in some capacity, or it was memorable for XYZ reason. So I'd like to pass this question to you. What do your book consuming habits look like? And if you had the resources to have a library, what would that look like? Because a very large, expansive library with all sorts of books that you read and haven't read that are brand new, that is wonderful and that is beautiful. I love looking at people with rooms with library like shelves that like completely engulf their room. I also love little shelves, like just a single shelf of a couple favorites. And I also applaud those who don't have any books and they just kind of hold the stories in memory and they don't save any books. All variations are great. I'd love to see what boat you fall in, and clearly this is the boat that I fall in. It looks like this, and I will see you in another video. Thank you for watching. Bye.